Brightline trains beginning practice runs today, where they're headed, and what you need to know as you head out for your morning commute.
And 24 hours from now, you'll be able to order free COVID tests to take home from a website. How many you can get your hands on? What else do you need to know before the rollout? And it's cold this morning. Some of us are dropping into the 30s. To start off your Tuesday, we'll take a closer look at the rest of your day ahead.
You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
We have a lot to get to. Now at 6, we have some breaking traffic news. It's also a big weather day, the first real cold snap of 2022.
Yeah, it is cold out there. Take a look at the temperatures. 39 now in Fort Pierce. And like Ashley said, we do have some breaking traffic news in Boca Raton. We are going to get to that in just a minute. But first, we want to talk about that cold front. So we're going to get over to meteorologist Lauren Oleski.
Yeah, it's nice and chilly out there. The entire state is quite cold. It's 30 degrees in Tallahassee. We're at the freezing mark in Jacksonville, and that cold is making its way south. It's even 55 degrees right now down in Miami. Make sure you have that jacket handy as you're making your way outside this morning. 41 degrees in Okeechobee, 38 for Fort Pierce and in Vero Beach right now. What a cold start. 49 in Boynton, 48 in Wellington. We've got that northwest wind bringing in the colder air for us. Fort Pierce has gotten to 37 so far this morning. That's how cold you've been. The coldest we've seen in West Palm Beach today has been 49 degrees. So just bundle up as you head out the door. You can certainly shed those layers later today because we will warm back to the mid-60s as we head into the afternoon today. This is the hour by hour for Wellington. You head to 49 by 8, so you're going to stay nice and cold for the next couple of hours. And then from there, your temperatures increase about 60 degrees by 11 o'clock this morning. We're going to look pretty nice out there today. Our highs through the afternoon, mid-60s for us today. This is a little below average for this time of year, but still, hey, it's a nice day outside. We do get a little bit warmer tomorrow, though. Temperatures are going to start increasing as we head to the end of the week, ahead of a front boundary that could bring us a chance of rain and then cooler air for the end of the week and early next week. We'll talk more about that still ahead. Ashley, Sam.
All right, Lauren, at 6:01 now, we do want to tell you about that breaking traffic news in Boca Raton. Traffic Tracker 12 looks like we might just have arrived on the scene here. This is in Boca Raton. All northbound lanes of I-95 are blocked right now. Near the Glades Road exit, FHP is investigating a deadly accident. So you cannot get on I-95 at Glades Road. If you know anyone coming north from Broward, they are going to be diverted off of the highway. We are working to get some more information right now, but as you head out, we are seeing some delays. So you want to take the turnpike as an alternate.
At 6:02, you need to know about this as well for your morning commute. In just 2 hours, Brightline's doing test runs with their trains from Palm Beach County all the way up to Brevard County in the Orlando area.
Yeah, this is all a part of the company's high-speed rail extension connecting South Florida to Orlando International Airport.
Yeah, this is big, a long time coming here. This project was announced in 2012. You're looking at video of the construction to get Brightline all the way up to Orlando. So right now, Brightline says construction's about 70% complete.
To prepare for the big launch next year, Brightline will do a more than 100-mile test run from West Palm Beach to Mico this morning. And we find CBS 12's Terry Hornstein live at the Brightline station in downtown West Palm. And Terry, there is a lot of anticipation about this extension up north.
There really is a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement for Brightline. Another train just got here, the one that will be traveling up north, expected to get here in less than an hour. And, you know, Brightline really got off to a little bit of a rough start during the pandemic. They had to shut their service down. So this really is an exciting time for them, extending these tracks up north. So today, a track will run from here in West Palm Beach up to Mico, which is about an hour and a half north of here. And tomorrow they'll do a test even farther to Cocoa. That's about 2 hours away. These areas are on the East Coast, southeast of Orlando. This could mean some extra traffic, though, in our area as these trains travel through West Palm Beach and head up north. These trips are really for the engineers and conductors to get used to the tracks and learn the road crossing signals, curves, and speed restrictions on the tracks. The stretch they will be learning now is about 130 miles from West Palm Beach to Cocoa. Brightline says there are 156 railroad crossings where safety improvements are being made to make sure everyone is safe, drivers as well as the train conductors said. And, you know, as you guys said in the studio, 70% of the work is done for this Brightline tracks from here in West Palm Beach all the way up to Orlando International Airport, really making it easier if you do have a flight out of Orlando to head there, or if you want to visit a Disney theme park. park. The airport just about 20 minutes away from those theme parks. So a really exciting time today. And, we'll be seeing these test runs heading up, going on through the rest of this year. Ashley and Sam.
All right, Terry, and as a reminder, Brightline is asking people to be safe at crossings after some recent crashes. New railroad crossing cameras down in Miami have caught many people breaking the law, even after Brightline installed new fencing, flashing lights, and gates at its crossings. And drones are also being used to monitor traffic.
Let's turn to our coronavirus coverage now. Starting tomorrow, millions of people in the U.S. will be able to order free at-home COVID tests.
This is all a part of President Biden's goal to help tackle the spread of the Omicron variant in the country.
You might remember the long lines at our local testing sites. People had to wait hours to get tested. The sites had to close earlier than expected. And some people even got turned away because there was so much demand. Happened all over the country before and after the holidays. But this is good news. These lines have cut way down since then. Our Kara Duffy is reporting on this from the COVID Alert Desk.
Yeah, Kara, what do people need to know this morning?
Ashley, Sam, you will be able to order your test through a government website. You can see it right here, the website covidtest.gov. It officially launches tomorrow. Now to the big question here, just how many tests can you get? And how quickly will they arrive? The White House says supplies will be limited to 4 tests per household. The tests will be shipping within 7 to 12 days of ordering through the U.S. Postal Service. The first shipments are set to go out to Americans by the end of this month. The website you want, again, covidtest.gov. Keep in mind the tests will be free. There's no shipping costs, and you will not need to enter any credit card information. Again, this here is the website covidtest.gov. You can start placing your orders for tomorrow.
Yeah, this could be a big help. Those tests run $20, $30, so the free test, big help. Well, in just hours from now, a new monoclonal antibody site's opening in Palm Beach County. It's one of 5 sites opening across the state. Now, these treatments are typically given to high-risk patients shortly after they test positive, trying to lessen the symptoms before they end up in the hospital. So here's what you need to know about this new site opening. We have some information on your screen. The new site will be at the West Boynton Rec Center in Lake Worth. You're seeing the address. It will be open from 9 to 5 each day. We have all of this info posted again on our website, cbs12.com.
6:06 is the time, and this morning, first responders on the Treasure Coast are fighting a staffing shortage. Right now, dozens of firefighters and EMTs in Indian River County are in quarantine after testing positive for COVID. The sick calls have gotten so bad that even the backup staff is out sick now as well. Tad Stone, the county's director of emergency operation, is concerned the staffing shortage could get worse.
I know my workforce has been significantly impacted in the fire rescue division. We give them anticipated come back to work dates, and if they're still symptomatic or they don't feel well, we go ahead and extend that.
Right now, we know service has not been severely impacted, but the county is ready to shift resources if needed.
At 6:07, this is a miracle many local doctors didn't expect. This woman here gave birth while she had COVID during the Delta peak in the summertime. It got really scary, too, for this family. Charma Jonathan's lungs started failing soon after her little boy was born. Thankfully, a different kind of treatment in our area helped to save her. She spent months on something called an ECMO machine. Basically pumps oxygen into a patient's blood when the heart and the lungs can't. Karma's one of only 3 patients ever on an ECMO at Gardens Medical Center.
One thing I knew I had a baby. I knew that, and that really just gave me the willpower.
So many terrible things have happened in the last 2 years. And there's like a couple of things that stick out that were truly miraculous and make you want to keep pushing forward. And this is one of them, if not the one.
Charma and her family are unvaccinated, they say, for religious reasons, but doctors are urging anyone who's eligible to get vaccinated, including pregnant women.
And this morning, Moderna is working on a single shot that covers both the flu and COVID. The company says it's combining a flu shot and COVID booster into a single shot, which could help with concerns some people have about getting separate ones. It'll take some time, though. Moderna isn't planning to have the vaccine ready until fall of next year.
It's 6:08 as we're getting you ready for this day. And still to come on CBS 12 News this morning, we're learning more about the hostage situation at a synagogue in Texas.
I threw a chair at the gunman and I headed for the door.
You will hear more from that rabbi who helped others make it through this terrifying ordeal. You don't want to miss it. It's next.
We are here to stand for justice, and we're going to get justice.
Plus, the family of a 13-year-old boy who died in a dirt bike accident is calling on authorities to hold the officer involved responsible. Coming up, we'll hear the desperate plea from the boy's parents.
This morning, we have new details on the horrifying hostage situation at a synagogue in Texas. The FBI now calling what happened terror-related anti-Semitic attack.
This morning, we're also learning more about how the suspect made it to Texas. Malik Faisal Akram, a British citizen, arrived at New York's JFK airport about 2 weeks ago. He made his way to Texas and stayed in a homeless shelter and somehow got a gun. One of the hostages says Akram claimed he targeted the synagogue because of its proximity to Afia Siddiqui, a convicted terrorist with suspected ties to al-Qaeda.
I want to bring Kara back, reporting at our live desk this morning. So, Kara, we're hearing from some of the hostages this morning. What are they saying?
Ashley, Sam, we're hearing from the rabbi and another one of the men who was held hostage. And to hear what they went through, it really brings the horror of this to life. You just can't imagine what was running through their minds. Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker described the tense 11-hour standoff, calling it terrifying and overwhelming. He says they're all still trying to process it. The rabbi also shared the moment he realized the man who claimed to be homeless was taking him hostage. He said he heard a click, turned around and saw it was a gun. Hostage Jeffrey Cohen also speaking out for the very first time. That's him right here. He said that as the hours passed, the gunman grew more belligerent.
He started spouting for a good few minutes. I was going to put a bullet in each of us. Whereas earlier in the day, he was going to let us all go and he was the only one who was going to die. But at that point, he was going to kill each of us. He even told us to get down on our knees.
And before the FBI went in, the hostages saw an opportunity to save themselves. Take a listen.
He put his gun down to pour some soda. And that's the point that Rabbi Charlie threw the chair and yelled, "Run."
I told them to go. I threw a chair at the gunman and I headed for the door. And all three of us were able to get out without even a shot being fired.
Yeah, and that is when the tactical unit sprung into action. Within seconds, Akram was dead. The hostages, thankfully, alive. Federal investigators are still trying to gather evidence at the synagogue right now, and agents are talking to people at the different homeless shelters there in North Texas, looking for more clues. Ashley?
Yeah, harrowing start to finish, Kara, to hear those accounts there. And after that standoff, a local rabbi wants to reassure the community that extra safety measures are in place. Rabbi David Steinhardt has been a religious leader at B'nai Torah congregation in Boca Raton for 28 years. He says his building is armed with security guards and metal detectors for everyone coming inside.
Our community was very upset, as many communities were, upset that there was a gunman who took hostages in a religious institution, and particularly at a synagogue.
Last year, Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation giving $4 million in security funding to Jewish day schools across Florida, including, for the first time ever, funding for professional security.
Time right now is 6:15, and this morning the undersea volcano near Tonga is still active, erupting for the third time in 4 days. Right now, communication with Tonga is still extremely limited. The massive eruption over the weekend triggered tsunami alerts stretching all the way to the west coast of the United States. The New Zealand military is working to send drinking water and other supplies by plane, but those deliveries have been delayed by thick ash covering the airport runway.
And this morning, we're seeing brand new drone video of all this damage left by an EF2 tornado in Lee County near Fort Myers over the weekend. Dozens of homes wiped out. Look at this. So right now the Red Cross is helping all of those impacted families.
And this morning, the entire state is dealing with a major cold front. And this week, the Palm Beach Zoo has taken extra safety measures to make sure animals are in cozy conditions. The zoo says they bring some animals inside a hurricane-safe bar that keeps them nice and warm. The zoo also says they start preparing in the fall by getting materials like heat lamps.
With the cold weather comes falling iguanas. You heard me. If you follow our meteorologist, Zach Covey, on Twitter, you've seen him post about the iguana advisory, meaning when the temps get really low, when they really dip, some iguanas might be falling out of the trees or bushes. Of course, this is all good fun here. National Weather Service does not actually issue these advisories.
No, they do not. But Lauren, the iguanas do freeze up and fall out of the trees here in South Florida.
And we love to see it. It never feels normal, no matter how many times you see it happen. You know, it just stuns you every time.
I mean, it's Florida, so it's pretty, I feel like it's normal for us, you know, to see this happen. Yeah, it happens all the time when it gets really, really cold. So just a heads up, you might see a lot of iguanas laying in the street today because it gets much warmer on the asphalt there, and the roads are going to be much warmer, so then they can kind of thaw out. So just a heads up if you're driving around. Let's look at our next weather maker. So we had a front that made its way through. That's why it's so cold out there today. High pressure settling into place behind it, keeping our skies nice and clear out there through the day. And then another front boundary will be approaching as we get closer to the weekend. We'll be able to nail down specifics as we get closer, because this is still developing. The timing continues to change. The model runs are all very different from each other, but it looks like right now some kind of front is going to approach Friday, and then we're likely going to see an area of low pressure develop and move in the Gulf of Mexico and then move across the state Saturday and into early Sunday. I don't necessarily think it's going to rain all weekend, but there will be periods of time that we see shower activity outside for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, we'll nail down timing and specifics as it gets closer, because this continues to evolve and change. We're in the 60s out there this afternoon. It's going to be very nice outside. Then we warm up to the 70s for the day tomorrow. Temperatures continue increasing through Thursday and Friday, and then we get a little cooler as we head into the end of the weekend and early next week. Ashley, Sam?
All right, Lauren, we do want to update you on that breaking traffic news we're following in Boca Raton right now. If you are in southern Palm Beach County getting ready for your commute, all northbound lanes of I-95 are shut down right now at Glades Road. So Traffic Tracker 12 is sitting on the southbound side of the highway looking over there at the northbound side. And it does look like traffic is passing by maybe on the shoulder there, but it is causing some major delays from Broward up into Palm Beach County this morning. So as you get ready to head out, just avoid I-95 until those lanes reopen. Of course, we'll let you know when they do. You'll want to take the Turnpike or US 1 or some of our side streets to work around this accident. Time right now is 6:18, and in just hours, South Florida Congresswoman-elect Sheila Sherfilis McCormick will be sworn in as the first Haitian-American Democrat in Congress. Sherfilis McCormick is the newest member of Congress from the Broward, Palm Beach County 20th Congressional District. She beat Republican Jason Mariner with 79% of the votes in a special election last week. She will fill the seat held by the late Alcee Hastings, who died of pancreatic cancer last year.
It's 6:19 right now as we're taking a live look at our nation's capital, where Senate Democrats will continue trying to push voting rights protections through Congress this week. Now, one proposed bill would allow early voting, vote by mail in all 50 states, and make Election Day a federal holiday. This comes as over the past year, 19 states have passed more restrictive voting laws. The Senate will debate this morning.
Well, dozens of people gathered in Sarah Sims Park yesterday calling for justice in the death of a 13-year-old boy in Boynton Beach. People were seen holding these signs you see here reading "Justice for SJ" with pictures of the boy on those signs. Now, you may remember last month Stanley Davis Jr., better known as SJ, died after he lost control of his dirt bike when a Boynton Beach police officer tried to pull him over. SJ's parents are now hoping for justice for their son.
My life is centered around my only child, so the impact is just waking up every morning knowing he's not there. I no longer have anybody that's going to call me mom.
And I hope my son's name don't go in vain. I just, wish he would get justice.
Right now, police have not identified the officer involved, but we do know he's on routine administrative leave as the investigation continues. Last week, the family's attorney announced plans to file a lawsuit in this case.
We still have a lot more to get you ready for this day ahead. And the relationship between Governor Ron DeSantis and former President Trump, it's being put to the test. We're digging into brand new reports and what it could all mean for both politicians in the future.
Plus, imagine giving birth to your baby in a decked-out Lily Pulitzer-designed room. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're giving you a look inside a suite right here in Palm Beach County. Stay with us. Back to CBS 12 News this morning at 6:24. You were taking a live look at Palm Beach International Airport. This morning, major airlines are warning about severe flight disruptions if new 5G technology rolls out tomorrow. They're urging the federal government to delay the launch of AT&T and Verizon's faster 5G wireless service near airports. They say the signals could interfere with devices on planes that pilots use to land in bad weather when there's low visibility. Airlines say it could cause more cancellations and delays.
6:24 is the time if you're planning a trip to Hawaii anytime soon. Keep in mind the state could soon require tourists to get the booster shot before they visit. Governor says travelers who are not boosted would have to isolate for 5 days after they arrive. Now, these changes wouldn't take effect for at least 2 weeks to give the visitors more time to meet the requirements.
Now to a live look in Port Canaveral this morning, where later today SpaceX will launch more satellites. This is part of SpaceX's mission to have the internet services across the world. Liftoff will be at 7:04 tonight, so I want to get over to Lauren and see how we're looking for a liftoff. Lauren?
Skies will be clear. Should be able to see it. The sun sets here around 6, so it'll be dark enough that we should all be able to look north and see that launch. A look at radar right now. Skies are dry. Treasure Coast, you are in great shape out there this morning. but it's kind of cold. It's 38 degrees right now in Vero Beach. Make sure you are bundled up as you head out the door, but layers because we will be warming back into the 60s later today. A calm west wind around 3 miles an hour. The dew point is at 38. Which means it's very dry outside, so it's a nice start. Stuart, your hour by hour, really this is every 2 hours. You're headed towards the mid-60s today, but overnight tonight you're not going to get quite as cold. We're all mostly going to be starting in the 50s, and then our temperatures head back towards the mid-70s for your Wednesday afternoon. But today, though, nice and cool out there. 65 for Fort Pierce, and in Stuart, Okeechobee headed to about 66. So really chilly this morning, staying nice and cool into the afternoon. Slowly warming up, though, as we head towards the middle of your week. Sam, Ashley.
All right, Lauren, we'll check back with you soon. 6:26. It's a big morning for Brightline, and one that could make it easier for you and your family to get to the theme park.
How soon we could see the train tracks run all the way up to Orlando.
That's exciting stuff right there. And then those at-home COVID tests can cost you $20, maybe $30. But next, how to snag 4 of them for free. We'll help you save money in about 5 minutes.